The National Electrical Code requires a means of disconnecting the underground service entrance conductors from the building. Article 230.71 states that a disconnect shall be installed at the point of entrance of service conductors to the building or structure. Permitted locations for the disconnect are firstly, adjacent to the point of entrance at grade level, secondly, in a readily accessible location inside or outside the building, or thirdly, within sight of the point of entrance and not more than 6 feet away. Article 230.70 does not prohibit mounting the main current transformer cabinet and meter outdoors. However, the following factors should be considered: accessibility. The equipment should be easily accessible for maintenance and repairs. Weather protection. The equipment should be protected from rain, snow, and other elements. And security. Equipment should be secured to prevent unauthorized access. Recommendations include mounting the equipment in a weatherproof enclosure with proper ventilation. Install a lockable cover to prevent tampering. Ensure that the equipment is located in an area that is both accessible and secure. Considering the NEC requirements and recommendations ensures a safe and compliant electrical installation. Installing a disconnect is essential for safety and compliance with electrical codes. The service disconnect is a critical safety feature in any electrical system, allowing for the complete shutdown of power to a building or a specific circuit. It is important to understand the NEC guidelines for service disconnects, especially when dealing with underground service entrance conductors. Firstly, the purpose of a service disconnect is to provide a readily accessible means of cutting off all electrical power to a building. This is crucial for safety during emergencies such as fires or electrical faults, as it allows first responders or maintenance personnel to quickly de-energize the electrical system, minimizing the risk of electrical shock or further damage. Secondly, the NEC mandates specific requirements for the location and accessibility of service disconnects. These requirements are designed to ensure that the disconnect can be easily located and operated in a timely manner. The code specifies that the service disconnect must be installed at a readily accessible location, either inside or outside the building, nearest the point of entrance of the service conductors. Thirdly, for underground service entrance conductors, the NEC provides further guidance on the placement of the service disconnect. Since the service conductors enter the building underground, the disconnect must be located where the conductors emerge from the ground or at a readily accessible point inside the building nearest to the entry point. This ensures that the disconnect is easily accessible and not buried or hidden in an inaccessible location. Furthermore, the NEC addresses the requirements for the type of disconnect that must be used. The disconnect must be suitable for use as service equipment, meaning it must be rated to interrupt the available fault current at the service entrance. This is crucial to ensure that the disconnect can safely break the circuit under overload or short circuit conditions. The disconnect must also be capable of being locked in the open position, allowing for safe maintenance and repairs. It is also important to consider the environmental conditions when selecting and installing a service disconnect. If the disconnect is located outdoors, it must be enclosed in a weatherproof enclosure to protect it from rain, snow, and other environmental factors. The enclosure must be rated for the specific environment in which it is installed, ensuring that it can withstand the elements and provide reliable protection for the disconnect. In addition to the location and type of disconnect, the NEC also addresses the requirements for the labeling of the disconnect. The disconnect must be clearly labeled to indicate its purpose and function. This helps to ensure that anyone who needs to operate the disconnect can easily identify it and understand its function. The labeling must be durable and legible, and it must be permanently attached to the disconnect or its enclosure. When installing a service disconnect, it is important to follow all of the NEC requirements carefully. Failure to comply with the code can result in unsafe installations and potential hazards. It is also important to consult with a qualified electrical inspector to ensure that the installation meets all applicable requirements. Mounting the main disconnect, current transformer cabinet, and meter outdoors can be a practical solution in certain situations, but it is essential to carefully consider the advantages and disadvantages before making a decision. The NEC does not prohibit mounting this equipment outdoors, but it does provide guidelines for ensuring safety and accessibility. One of the main advantages of mounting the equipment outdoors is that it can save space inside the building. This can be particularly beneficial in buildings with limited space or where it is desirable to keep the electrical equipment separate from the occupied areas. Mounting the equipment outdoors can also make it easier to access for maintenance and repairs. However, there are also some potential disadvantages to consider. Firstly, the equipment will be exposed to the elements, which can lead to corrosion and other damage. It is important to select equipment that is rated for outdoor use and to provide adequate weather protection. Secondly, the equipment may be more vulnerable to vandalism or theft. It is important to secure the equipment to prevent unauthorized access and to consider installing security measures such as lighting or cameras. When mounting the equipment outdoors, it is important to follow the NEC guidelines for clearance and accessibility. The equipment must be installed in a location where it is readily accessible for maintenance and repairs. There must be sufficient clearance around the equipment to allow for safe operation and maintenance. The equipment must also be protected from physical damage, such as from vehicles or falling objects. In addition to the NEC requirements, it is also important to consider the local building codes and regulations. Some jurisdictions may have specific requirements for the location and installation of electrical equipment. It is important to consult with the local authorities to ensure that the installation meets all applicable requirements. When selecting equipment for outdoor mounting, it is important to choose equipment that is specifically designed for outdoor use. This equipment will be constructed of materials that are resistant to corrosion and other environmental factors. It will also be designed to provide adequate protection from rain, snow, and other weather conditions. It is also important to consider the operating temperature range of the equipment. The equipment must be able to operate safely and reliably in the expected range of temperatures. If the equipment is exposed to extreme temperatures, it may be necessary to provide additional insulation or cooling. The current transformer cabinet is an important component of the electrical system, as it houses the current transformers that are used to measure the current flowing through the conductors. The current transformers are used to provide accurate current readings to the meter, which is used to bill the customer for their electricity consumption. The current transformer cabinet must be sized appropriately for the current transformers that are being used. It must also be constructed of materials that are suitable for the environment in which it is installed. If the cabinet is located outdoors, it must be weatherproof and resistant to corrosion. The meter is the device that measures the amount of electricity that is consumed by the customer. The meter must be accurate and reliable, and it must be properly calibrated to ensure that it is providing accurate readings. The meter must also be protected from tampering and vandalism. If the meter is located outdoors, it must be enclosed in a weatherproof enclosure to protect it from the elements. In summary, the NEC requires a means of disconnecting underground service entrance conductors at the point of entrance to a building. Permitted locations for the disconnect include adjacent to the point of entrance at grade level, a readily accessible location inside or outside the building, or within sight of the point of entrance and not more than 6 feet away. While the NEC does not prohibit mounting the main disconnect current transformer cabinet and meter outdoors, factors such as accessibility, weather protection, and security must be considered. Mounting equipment in a weatherproof enclosure with proper ventilation, installing a lockable cover to prevent tampering, and ensuring the equipment is located in an accessible and secure area are recommended practices. Proper planning and adherence to the NEC guidelines are essential for safe and compliant electrical installation. The service entrance conductors are the conductors that bring electrical power from the utility company's distribution system to the building's service equipment. These conductors are typically run underground from a transformer or other source of power to the building's service entrance. The service entrance is the point where the service conductors enter the building. At the service entrance, the service conductors are connected to the service equipment, which includes the main disconnect switch, overcurrent protection devices, and other components that are used to control and protect the building's electrical system. The main disconnect switch is the primary means of disconnecting the building's electrical system from the utility company's power supply. This switch is used to de-energize the entire electrical system for maintenance, repairs, or emergencies. The overcurrent protection devices, such as circuit breakers or fuses, are used to protect the building's electrical system from overloads and short circuits. These devices are designed to automatically trip or blow if the current in the circuit exceeds a safe level, preventing damage to the electrical system and reducing the risk of fire. The NEC provides detailed requirements for the installation of service entrance conductors and service equipment. These requirements are designed to ensure that the electrical system is safe and reliable. The NEC specifies the minimum size and type of conductors that must be used for service entrance conductors, as well as the requirements for the installation of the service equipment. The NEC also requires that the service entrance conductors and service equipment be properly grounded and bonded to ensure that the electrical system is properly protected from electrical shock hazards. Grounding is the process of connecting the electrical system to the earth. This provides a low-resistance path for fault currents to flow back to the source, which helps to trip the overcurrent protection devices and to energize the circuit. Bonding is the process of connecting all of the metal parts of the electrical system together. This helps to ensure that all of the metal parts are at the same electrical potential, which reduces the risk of electrical shock hazards. In addition to the NEC requirements, there may also be local building codes and regulations that apply to the installation of service entrance conductors and service equipment. It is important to consult with the local authorities to ensure that the installation meets all applicable requirements. When installing service entrance conductors and service equipment, it is important to use qualified and experienced electrical contractors. These contractors will be familiar with the NEC requirements and local building codes, and they will have the necessary skills and equipment to install the electrical system safely and reliably.